Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Ink Strike podcast. My name's Mark.
I'm Joe.
I am Bobby.
And I guess let's just jump straight into this, right?
I guess we have to, since we've been going for like 3 weeks. We promise people every other week, and then we're a bunch of slackers. We apologize for that. It's all Mark's fault. Mark is just pathetic.
It's my fault.
Yes, it's your fault. You're pathetic. It's people like you that make me have to work long hours during Valentine's, and it kind of screwed everything up. So
you're just throwing right down here. You're not holding back anything at all, are you?
We're gonna liven you up a little bit. You're all low key. He woke up from nap time, people. If you're watching the video version of this, he looks all sleepy and a little sissified, and we're gonna wake his kid.
Here's the problem. I didn't wake up from nap time. I haven't had nap time, so you got me. I'm all like thrown off. I'm cranky. I'm ready for nap time. I'm like a giant baby.
You're not getting nap time tonight.
How about this? Let's jump into this stuff, and then once we're done, you can go have a nice long nap, Mark.
Yeah. We'll let you cuddle with your Yoshi amiibo, your Mega Yarn Yoshi amiibo, and you'll be good to go.
I still haven't seen the giant Yarn Yoshi amiibo. I didn't get the small ones, but I haven't even seen the big one. But let's not get into that. Let's stick with some Splatoon stuff.
Okay.
We mentioned before we took our super long hiatus because Bobby sells flowers. We mentioned, the end of DLC, and there were some rumors around Amiibo. Joe, do you want to kind of catch us up and walk anyone listening through, like, kind of what's going on with these rumors here?
Well, we had a long conversation about the end of DLC on our last episode, and I don't even think we discussed the possibility of more Amiibos bringing content to the game. And I think it was only a day or two after our last recording that some rumors popped up on the internet that there is very possibly some new Amiibo coming to Splatoon. And this news first came up when there was a post on Twitter from NWPlayer123 who data mined one of the recent updates and found out that there were 2 Amiibo files in the data, and they were labeled Amiibo Idol A and Amiibo Idol B, who everyone is thinking it is the Squid Sisters.
Callie Marie.
Which probably makes most sense. I don't think there are any other major characters in the game that would warrant an Amiibo.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, I'm thinking, like, they make sense, but I'm also thinking, the older commander guy. What's his name? Like the guy who gives you all the story missions, right? Like
the guy with the cane, yeah,
their grandfather kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that old guy.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he kind of makes sense, because if someone was going to come and give you some more DLC, most likely, I'm thinking it's probably going to be some story missions, some of this kind of stuff, and he kind of, would work as an Amiibo to give you some more missions, that kind of thing. But Callie Marie, I guess, are 2 of the most popular characters.
Yeah, I would take Callie. Good.
Sorry, Bobby. I was just one of the other characters that we see every time we play a game is that little cat at the end. Does the cat have a name? He's a pretty cool character, anyway.
He's very cool. I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
We're horrible. We're horrible. He does have a name, and for the life of me, every time we come here and it's time to talk, I forget everything going on with the game. But he does have a game. He does have a name. A game.
His name is Judd.
Yeah, Judd. Judd the Judge.
Judd the cat. Yes.
And,
so I agree, Joe. I think Judd would be a fantastic Amiibo character, and he's one of those that I think, like, I would get even if I didn't use him in the game, just because he's so ridiculous looking, and he's just like, if he was waving the flag kind of thing in a weird little, like, wavy flaggy pose kind of whatever. Yeah. I think it'd be like, I don't have the Animal Crossing party game or whatever the hell that is, but I'm very tempted to get a couple of the Amiibos. Like, I want Rossetti.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Just because in the games he's this, like, asshole who yells at everyone.
Yeah.
And I like that. I appreciate that.
Yes. You pretty much are. Now, listen, I think they're going to go Callie Marie. I think they're gonna pump those 2 for everything that they're worth. They're big a lot of people love those two. And being that they're always in the Splatfest, things like that, I think that's the way they're going right off of Jump Street. And then if they divert from those later on, that's a possibility. But at the same time, I don't know that I buy it. It could have just been something that was there at first, and they moved it away.
Well, didn't the new data come in during an update? Like, isn't this
right after the last update?
Yeah. So how can it be old content? It must be something new that they were intending on adding into the game, right?
Yeah, but they could have been something that, like, see, I don't know how it all works. So, like, I'm thinking is maybe they moved some stuff out and it uncovered other stuff when they put the new stuff in. Personally, I don't even know. I can't even begin to fathom how they even data mine to begin with, how they're getting this information to begin with. Like, because they also pulled stuff out of the eShop. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's not true. I just have a feeling that Nintendo, it could be something Nintendo has there that they're not even going to touch.
Well, there is a little more evidence than the data mining. I think a day or two later, the game's director, I don't want to butcher his name. Can someone pronounce his name for me? Hitachi.
I'm pretty sure I butchered that last episode. Bobby, you want to give this one a try?
No, I don't. The director of the game, he said that he was at an award ceremony and he was crying and such and very emotional because of the praise that Splatoon had gotten, and he had said that they're tinkering with the idea of more stuff to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool to see. Can I just take a moment to just, it's so funny, Bobby. I know on the Geekcast, you guys have mentioned how, a lot of these game companies, these other companies other than Nintendo, love to get up and love to strut their stuff and puff out their chest, and their presentations are so long and so long-winded and that kind of stuff. It was so refreshing to see a game designer who was so humbled by the response to this game that he, tears were filling his eyes, and I tried to watch it. I don't speak a lick of Japanese, so I couldn't really understand it, and the translation that I saw anyway was terrible. But you could just get that he was just so blown away by the response to this game. So it was really, really refreshing to see.
I think that, let's be honest. I mean, here's guys that basically worked under Miyamoto for many years doing Mario games. He mentored them. It was the three of them. There was three guys that he mentored, and they all kind of spawned off and did Splatoon. But here's guys that grew up in Japan, wanted to make video games. They're working under one of the greatest video game creators in our generation, in our lifetime. And then they go, okay, we're going to go off and do our own thing now. And they not only go off and do their own thing, they knock it out of the park, and they crush it, and it was a surprise success because, let's be honest, everybody and their mother was basically like, original IPs are dead. You don't do that. That's a no. You just leave it alone. And not only did they do it, they killed it. Like, they got 4 million copies of this game sold in 11 million console market. Like, that's unheard. That's almost 50%. They're pushing. It's a good percentage. Where
and I think Smash Brothers is only 5.5 million.
No, I think Smash is closer to 8 million. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought Smash was only a little bit over 50%.
No, Smash is like 8%. Smash is up there, because that's what I only know because I got into an argument with Toby and Alan in one of the last podcasts that we did. So, but yeah, it's I think it's like 4.4 million or something. It's up there.
Still fantastic.
That's huge. That's huge, and it also is something that is moving consoles in Japan. Mm-hmm. So that's another big thing. So here's a company that's kind of floundering, kind of hurt a little bit, and then they come out with a new IP that everybody says not to do. Don't mess with new IPs. When that game launched, everybody was against it and thought it was a dumb idea. No, shooting the ground, you're painting the ground. Like, what's the point of that? And and then here it is, it explodes and sells through the roof and does amazing things for Nintendo. So yeah, absolutely, I can see why he would get emotional.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so back to it. So he said that he was, they were toying around with the idea. They didn't expect the success. They were toying around with more DLC. So Joe, you said, yeah, there's this, more evidence suggesting that this is the way things are going.
It's at least possible. Now, I know we spent probably a good amount of time on our last episode talking about DLC. We have something to focus in on now. If we get DLC, it's very possible that it might come in the form of Amiibo, probably Callie Marie, maybe by themselves or a 2-pack or something like that.
Right.
So let's leave it at this. If those Amiibos come out, what are you going to get? We're going to buy the Amiibo, we're going to take them home, we're going to tap them to our gamepad. What do you think is going to happen, Mark? What content are we going to get out of that?
I think you're going to get the same stuff you got with the other Amiibo. I think you're going to get a weapon at the end of it, a special weapon that you can't get anywhere else. I think you're going to get some armor, some clothes, things of that nature. I think that's where you're more or less looking at. I think they're going to take the single-player campaign and they're going to push more on it and add more content that way, because that's basically just taking. I think that's the easiest way to do DLC, is to take that single player content and then put a mission to it, like something that you have to do, like objectives that you have to do. That's the easiest thing to do in my mind.
It seems, Splatoon seems like a game to me that they want everyone on a fairly even playing field. Yeah, you can unlock more weapons and more gear and that kind of stuff the higher up you go in your levels and that kind of stuff, but it doesn't really make a difference. You can be level 40 and get your ass kicked by a level 13.
Absolutely.
If that person knows how to play, no matter what kind of gun you have and that kind of thing. So I don't think the DLC that they would release, especially behind an Amiibo type of paywall, you're looking minimum price $15-$16 for an Amiibo. If it's a 2-pack, you're looking double that. So I don't think it's one of those things where they're going to unlock, stages or something like that would kind of divide that audience. It's going to be just like Bobby said. I think it's going to be some more single-player stuff, maybe some more of those little paused mini-games, like the in-between match mini-games kind of thing, and some weapons, some gear, some skins, that kind of stuff. They can unlock all of those things, but I don't think we'll see more multiplayer stages like we were talking before. And I think that's still something that I don't know. I don't know if they've set a precedent that it needs to be free if you're downloading new stages, new main game stages or that kind of thing. But I definitely agree with Bobby on that one.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. This just needs to be a little cherry on top. We get a couple of cool looking Amiibos. You tap them in, you're going to have a set of 20 challenges. The other challenges are based around weapon types. I've done some of the boy and girl Amiibo, which are the charger weapons and the rollers. So I don't know if maybe they would base it around, maybe one would be slosher type challenges and one could be like splatling challenges. They might do something like that. I think that would be pretty cool with just some extra gear and maybe a new type of slosher and splatling weapon at the end. I think that would be a nice little cherry on top of this game.
I think you also have to look at it too is Nintendo basically said it was the end of free DLC. So now we're looking at, if you buy Amiibo, you're paying for it. So it gives Nintendo a little bit of incentive to go out and redo some of this stuff and do some add-on content and stuff. I just truly, in my heart of hearts, feel they are now focused on the NX with Splatoon, and they are working as diligently as they can to get that game at the NX and as quickly as possible on the NX, at as close to that launch window as they can. They can't go 3-4 years into the NX without a Splatoon game on it, or they're dead in the water.
Yep, and I think this is an easy way to do that because the other Splatoon Amiibo didn't give you new stages or anything. You were playing the same stages with restricted challenges.
Yeah.
So I think they don't have to write new stages. They don't have to create new maps. They don't have to do anything. They have to skin a new weapon, do a couple of little balances, and create some challenge modes kind of thing within this. So that's, again, we're not game developers, but I can't imagine that taking a, a lot of resources away from the main team. Like that's a 1 or 2 guy job. Give them a few weeks. It's probably going to take longer to design and create the amiibo than it would to create that DLC, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
So here's a question: if they're not in a 2-pack together, do you think that there could be another Splatfest with Callie versus Marie? Who would you buy?
Oh wow. That's a curveball there, Mark.
Well, you can think about that one, but it kind of transitions into our next topic, which is the answer to: are there still going to be Splatfests after the DLC? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And we just got our first big post-DLC Splatfest, which I'm very, very excited for, and was a very hard decision for me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very tough decision. Why was it
so hard for you?
Okay, well, if anyone doesn't know, the Splatfest is Pokemon Red versus Pokemon Blue.
Yeah.
So I'll start off. Did you guys play Pokemon like back in the day when it first came out, when it was all the big buzz?
No, I was too
Bobby. No.
I was at that age where it was just like, I can appreciate it, but it's just not me.
Right.
I was in grade 6, still in elementary school. It was the rage. Everybody has a Pokemon game. I had picked up a used Game Boy, the original, the gray one. It had scratches all over the screen, and I had a copy of Pokemon Blue. And man, that was a great game at the time.
It was.
Yeah, but I hate to tick you off a little bit, Mark. But I might do it. We had a quick chat the other day online about, are they going to do anything in this game? Is it just going to come out in grayscale, or is it going to be colorized like Pokemon Yellow was? And I think we determined that it's grayscale.
Yep.
And honestly, it looks horrible. I don't understand why anyone would want to play this game. I understand why Nintendo's trying to push it like they are, but this is the Splatfest I'm least excited for.
All right.
I did pick Blue though because I played Pokemon Blue when I was a kid. That's the only reason.
I got to counter you with one thing for the throwback thing. Why would anyone play the original Super Mario Brothers when you can play new Super Mario Brothers?
But to kill both of your dreams here. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the Pokedex and the ability to pull the Pokemon that are on the original ones into the Pokedex easier and all that stuff. So it's more or less so people can have all those different
in the new games.
Yes.
Right.
So that way you can get them into the newer games and all that stuff. That's more what it's about.
Add it to your the Pokebank. And I have to admit, like I love the old Pokemon games. I've played most of them through the series, but I haven't really played the newer ones. I think the last one I played was X, and I played it through just once, beat it, and then that was kind of it. Like I didn't really. By that time, I was kind of out of the Pokemon craze. I didn't feel like I had to catch them all. But Red and Blue have me excited just to go down, a trip down memory lane kind of thing. But Joe, when the conversation that you alluded to earlier, I played Blue when I was younger, and here's where my problem is. One, actually, I'll address the grayscale thing, because when I played it, I had a Game Boy Color. So I played it with a tiny bit of color, because the Game Boy Color would take old Game Boy games and put like a splash of color in it.
Okay.
But still, it was for the most part, it was like blues and grays. So it didn't really do much, but it did something. But so it's going to be weird to play it in grayscale. But here's my issue with the Pokemon and this Splatfest in particular, and why it was such an issue for me. When I bought Pokemon, my brother's favorite color growing up was red. So he pretty much instantly called, like, I'm getting the red version. I said, fine, I'm getting blue. And blue was my second favorite color. My first was green, but we didn't get green in North America. Green went to Asia. So I've always gotten, like, the blue kind of thing. I got, I think, sapphire, all that kind of stuff. But I always pick fire starters. So I got Pokemon Blue, but I picked Charmander. So here's my issue with Splatfest. Do I pick Pokemon Blue because that's the game I got, or do I go with Pokemon Red because it has my favorite Pokemon, Charizard, which is my all-time favorite?
You're thinking too much into this. You're putting too much thought.
Yeah, it's way too complicated.
Yeah. Listen, I picked Pokemon Red because I like Charizard. I have the Amiibo. That's it. I have no ties to either game. Could care less. I just have Pokemon. I just have the Amiibo Charizard. So go ahead. I'll let you finish. I just need to get in there because you were about to cry. Tears were forming in your eyes. You were reminiscing.
Well, I mean, it was this kind of, it was pick the Pokemon that I like or the game that I played and have the nostalgia for. So for me, it was a bit of a decision, and it was funny. Like, I'm thinking through this, like, okay, what do I pick? What do I pick? And you start up the Splatfest, and Callie and Marie are discussing it and all this kind of stuff, and they're doing their usual, my side's better, and so it was Callie, was it, that said, I'm choosing red. Red's better. Charizard's awesome. And then Mary came back and was like, yeah, well, I'm picking blue, and guess what? You can still pick Charmander in blue. So and I always liked the other exclusive Pokemon that you could get in blue and that kind of stuff. So when she said that, I was like, of course, that's what I need to pick. So I ended up picking blue. But it was a bit of a decision for me, a bit of like, oh man, what do I do? What do I do?
The minute I said red, everybody should have known immediately that you were going blue.
Yeah.
Just the way it was.
Yeah, we've only ever agreed once, so I knew this wasn't.
And that was last time. This time,
exactly.
This time it's Joe and I together, and you are the lone wolf. Now that worked out well for Joe last time, being by himself.
It'll work out for us this time too, Bobby.
I think it'll work out good this time.
We picked a winner.
I don't know. I really don't know, because the way these stupid things work with the way the points are equated out, you're gonna have. I think we're gonna win the favorite pick.
Yep.
But I think we're going to get our butts handed to us when it comes time to wins, because you'll see this time, Joe, where you'll be playing a lot of Pokemon Red games.
Oh yeah. You guys are going to be playing Red versus Red a ton.
A lot, yeah.
If we want to analyze this further, there's some psychology. I don't know if you guys have ever read anything like this, but the color reds, people who tend to go towards red or are in an environment with a lot of red tend to be more aggressive, and people who are in a blue environment or lean towards the color blue are more docile. So Bobby, you might be right in that red might be the more aggressive players on this Splatfest, and I think they might win more games.
But again, when it's red versus red,
you're playing yourself.
Yeah, it means nothing. That's the problem.
They just cancel each other out, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is if you have a lot of people playing against each other, we're not racking up points against the other team. So what happens is when you play the blue team, you have to win those games. That's the main thing. A lot of times what happens is you're playing yourselves, and you're just not, you're not. You'll see, it's a totally different beast when you're playing against, guys that are on your own. It's weird. I don't know why it works out like that, but it does. It's just strange. Just trust me. I don't have no faith. In the last 3 Splatfests that I've been in, we've lost. So welcome to the loser team, Joe.
Heads up.
I haven't lost one yet, so I'm hoping we.
Well, then hopefully your luck will rub off on me, and hopefully mine won't rub off on you. Because if it does, you're in trouble. Something
interesting about this Splatfest is the different regions, Japan and Europe and the Americas, all have the same theme this time around. Before Splatfest they used to have them on different weekends, like they'd have Japan on one weekend and then the America on a different weekend, and there'd be completely different themes. This time around, it really seems like Nintendo's really trying to put that push on for people to spend $20 on a game that they bought 20 years ago. So every region is Pokemon. So I thought that was kind of interesting this time around.
Are we going to be able to play with other regions? Because I got to say, every morning when I play, if I get a couple of minutes, I'll play a match or two before work, and it's always with Japanese players.
No, the regions are not going to be mixed together, and that's a real shame because Because that would fix the problem you're talking about, Bobby, at least to some degree, where there might be a lot more of people who choose red or blue. You know, if you included all 3 regions, it might even itself out a little more. But so that's unfortunate, but that's the way they've done it.
I just want a bunch of Japanese kids on my team because they are so nasty, man.
They're crazy.
They are so badass. I love them.
Play in the morning, Joe. You'll experience the crazy skill of these Japanese players.
It's 2 different styles, man. I've said it from day one. There's 2 styles to Splatoon. There's the early morning Japanese.
Yep.
A lot of slipping and hiding. You'll come across and you'll see this little splatter of paint that's the other color of yours, and you think, I'm not even going to mess with it because it's not. And next thing you know, it just kind of jumps up at it and levels you. And then when you're playing against the Americans, the North Americans, the Canadians, it's just a different style. It's more laid back. They are focusing more on painting the ground, but it's like you play against Japanese, and it's like playing against Joe all day. Like he's trying to kill you every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot from them, Joe. I think you'd appreciate their play style.
I don't play in the morning, but I do watch streams sometimes in the morning, and yeah, they're all Japanese players at that time of day. They can be pretty good, especially with blasters. If you want to use that as a segue.
Nice transition. One thing before we move on, this Splatfest just completely solidifies the desire to keep the shirt.
Not for me.
Really? You'd rather a shirt with a frickin' cheeseburger or pizza on it than like you call yourself a real Nintendo fan? Come on.
Mark, you should look around on the internet a little bit, but I've seen that there are actual the real shirts for sale, the replicas of the shirts that are in the game, that you can buy those online.
Oh, I'm not that diehard. I just want a little digital Pokemon.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing a Nintendo shirt. Come on, this is my Link.
I like that
shirt. I mean, that's
That's
I'm
nice.
nerdy, but I'm not that nerdy.
I got my Zelda shirt on too. See that? Look at that.
There we go.
Well, this is quite a coincidence because I have my True Link shirt on.
Triple Zelda shirt. All right.
We are the Triforce of Splatoon.
That is blasting my mind away.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Speaking of blasting.
Yeah.
Yo, you had a transition?
Well, I kind of had one, but we kind of screwed it up. But anyway, let's just jump into it. We did another experiment. We all decided that we were going to, play around with some different blaster weapons, choose the one that we want to play with, and then, play around with it for a little while, come back and discuss it. So I'm interested to hear what you guys chose. What blaster did you choose, Bobby?
I took the custom range blaster.
Custom range. That's okay. I chose the regular range blaster. So, what sub-weapon and special came with the custom range blaster?
It came with. I have it right here. It came with the bombs, the little like triangular bombs, and the Kraken. That's the sub-weapon.
Very inexperienced with the Kraken. I hate using it.
Listen, honestly. If you use this blaster, you're going to be very inexperienced using it too, because you got 0. It's I hate this experiment that we do every week because it makes me loathe this game and not want to play this game. I cannot stand going with these stupid weapons, and I can't do anything, and I'm getting whipped left and right. I put up like 200 points this morning, and I'm like, this is all I got. This is it. This is the best I can do is 200 points.
What strategy did you find yourself using with the range?
I'm just trying to take people out, man, because you can't paint the ground. There's no paint in the ground whatsoever. What I did was we were playing on the the Wally warehouse or whatever it is, and I tried to get across the board as quickly as possible. Not very good because you can't put the ink down, you can't get through it. Finally, I would get to the other side, and where they were coming down, I was sitting at the bottom of the ramp. And every time they came down, I would shoot them. And that was my best bet because it only took one shot and I killed them. It wasn't even like playing games with them. So it wasn't until Sniper came into the fact that they changed the tide on me. But
once you get something with range against a blaster, you're
done.
screwed. Yep.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
But this was Mark's baby because he used it the one weekend. He was like, "Oh, I like these."
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Joe, I want to hear yours first before I jump into my experience.
Okay, well, I also used a range blaster, just the regular one, which came with the splash wall and the ink strike. I kind of figured out fairly easily how to get decent ink coverage. Like Bobby says, it's not amazing, but I like with the blasters where it leaves that little that path of ink in front of you, so you can kind of move pretty quickly across the screen. The name Range Blaster really means this. You cannot be up close with somebody. I chose the Range Blaster because I like playing up close to other players, and this just kind of made me try something different. And the splash wall seemed like it would go very well with being ranged and trying to keep other players back from me. So what I kind of found is if someone got too close to me, goal number one was not to kill them, it was to get away. It's how do I get back out of here, push you back so I can shoot you from afar. Because if you're too close with other players and you try and kill with the range blaster, you're going to get splatted. So I used some ink resistance, and I used swim speed up. I really started getting into swim speed up with this weapon, and I use it a lot now the last few weeks because the whole goal was how do I get out of this mess and push back as fast as possible, and then throw up a splash wall. I constantly had splash walls up trying to protect myself, and I found the strategy I ended up using was you know those really annoying blaster users who jump up, shoot, dive down in the ink, swim, jump up, and then shoot again. That's basically the strategy I found myself using, because if you try and stand there and you shoot once and you don't get a splat, and then you keep holding the button and wait for your second shot, you're dead. You've waited too long and someone's going to get you. So you gotta jump up, you gotta shoot. If you miss, you gotta dive back down to the ink, you gotta move, you gotta jump up again, and keep going like that. But overall, this was not my play style. It's not my favorite weapon, but that was the strategy that worked best with it.
Cool.
What did you pick, Mark?
I picked the Luna Blaster.
That's what I should have used.
It was good. It wasn't as ranged as what you're describing as the range blaster. Mine was more up close, but it's kind of funny because I used a similar kind of tactic. So I switched to a lot of like swim speed up and some ink savers because that thing eats through ink like crazy. So my tactic going into this was I'd kind of shoot, like to travel around, I found it was very effective to shoot and then it blasts, and then I'd kind of shoot, swim, and that's how I'd cover as much ground as I could with the ink. My strategy for killing other players was to swim up as fast as I could, jump out, and splat them in very close range. So I wasn't trying to push people back. I was trying to get in very sneakily. So I was using anything to hide myself in the ink and come up very quickly on the side, behind, whatever, and just kind of, do the raptor tactic where you're distracted by my other team and I'm coming up from the side and you don't even know I'm there. So that was my tactic, and I found it worked quite well. As far as kills, I think my kills the last couple of weeks have gone way up, but as far as
that weapon's pretty deadly for kills.
Yeah.
It's a shame you don't play ranked a lot, Mark, because the Luna Blaster in tower control is an absolute nightmare.
And I've been thinking about doing that now that I'm kind of used to the weapon, just because my ink coverage hasn't been up to where I usually am with like the the arrow spray and that kind of stuff. It's I'm usually kind of middle of the pack. I'm not usually last, but I'm very rarely first. I finished first one round this morning and I was like, all right, let's go. But usually, second or third place on my team. But very, very good for like support. Very good for clearing the other team out, so my team can go in and cover more space. So some different tactics, but overall, I really, really like the Luna Blaster. I wish it had some different specials. The one I'm using has just the same bomb that Bobby's using, the splat bomb or whatever it is, and then my special is just the one where you just throw bombs out like crazy.
I love the bomb rush. So do you think you're going to stick with the Luna Blaster from time to time, Mark? Do you like that weapon?
I think it's a good alternate weapon for me. I think I'm going to play around with some more blasters, but the Luna so far has been treating me pretty well.
Look, we have one success from our experiments here. That's great. Bobby, I'm not sticking with my range blaster. Are you going to use yours again?
No, I'm done with it. It's over. I don't like it. My thing is this. I feel like this isn't the style of gameplay I play, so a blaster just doesn't do any good for me. Like, my style is I just enjoy painting the ground. Like, I'm the one that on the team that like focuses on the ground, painting every little nook and cranny that I can get in order to win for the team. I'm not into killing. Like, I laugh at the people that kill me typically because I'm like, okay, you're killing me. That's fine. We're gonna win the game in the end. And 9 times out of 10 we do because of that. Because I'm so aggressive with painting on the ground that I can take over that, and you can hit me all you want, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't bother me because eventually it's 3 minutes. So typically the last minute I'm going to take over and I'm going to bum rush in and take control of things. So for me, it's not it's not ever a situation where a blaster is going to work for me because the painting is so slow. It was painful playing with that weapon.
It's not for that for sure.
No, the rate of it was just like I said. I think I unlocked the Kraken once in all my time playing. I could never get up enough paint on the ground to unlock the Kraken. And when I first started playing Splatoon, I used a roller with the Kraken, so I know how to use the Kraken. I'm good with the Kraken, but I just could not, for the life of me, unlock it. Yeah, every time I would get close, I'd get killed. So it's because it just takes so long to build up your areas. So I'm used to those high speed weapons.
And that's one thing I liked about the Luna compared to other blasters that I've used. Like it's not as quick as a lot of like automatic weapons, but it's quicker than a lot of the blasters. So I could get 2 shots. If I missed one, I didn't have to run away. I could a lot of time get a second shot in before the person, especially with my tactic, and it covered a decent amount of space. Like I said, not 200 points and not top, but decent amount. So it was a good experiment. Joe, let's do another random experiment. Let's give Bobby something else to complain about in the next couple of weeks.
What this game really, or what this experiment really highlights is how personal this game can be.
Absolutely.
And, we really get used to, we find what we love to play with and what our play styles are. And I think that's really why this game has been so successful, is just the variety of weaponry that's out there. But it's good to remember that our listeners, what they like is not necessarily what we like, and it's good for us to get those different things out there and talk about them. So instead of choosing a class or weapon this time, we're going to go back to what we did the first time. We're going to roll a random number for everybody, and there's a weapon that corresponds to that number, and that's the weapon you're going to get, and you have to use it. I'm sorry, Bobby. Do you want to go first?
Wait. We're not all using the same weapon?
Nope.
This is bull.
Next time we can do it your way, okay? However you want.
I just want to all do the same weapon, man.
Okay, well, all right.
Okay,
let's still do that. Let's do the random weapon generator, but we all use the same one.
That's what I thought we were going to do. At the beginning of the show, like before we went live, like I thought that's what we were doing. I don't want to be stuck with a paintbrush by myself.
Okay.
Or I don't want to be stuck with that stupid slosher by myself. Like,
all right, you got a deal, Bobby.
Okay.
All right.
We're all going to go with the same weapon.
So, okay, wait. How does this random generator work? You push it and it just pops up a number?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a website. It's random.org, and there's just a random number.
Okay, I know exactly.
You put in the range. Just to recap, there are 74 weapons in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a random number from 1 to 74, and I have a list of all of the weapons here. So, you guys ready?
Sloshers are out. We're not using sloshers.
We're not going to use whatever Joe tells us.
Okay. I got number 66, and I'm going to see what weapon that corresponds to. If it's a weapon we use as our main or we've used already in this experiment, we'll roll again, but otherwise we'll stick with it, okay?
Yep.
Please end Zapper.
Okay, how do you guys feel about this one? 66 is the Rapid Blaster Deco, which is it's a blaster that shoots a little more rapidly. It's not a one-shot kill. It's a two-shot kill weapon, and it comes with the suction bombs along with bomb rush. How do you guys feel about that weapon?
I'm good with that.
You said it's the rapid what?
Rapid Blaster Deco.
Yep. It's a red and gray weapon with the yellow arrow stickers on the side.
I'm going to quit this podcast because I'm really hating this fight.
I experimented with the blaster, and it's a little bit of a mix between a shooter and a blaster. It's got decent range. It's got a narrow path when you fire it, and it's not a one-shot kill. You do need 2 shots with this weapon. I like suction bombs, and I like bomb rush. So
yeah, me too. It's not bad.
I almost chose this weapon for our blaster experiment. But I didn't for the very reason that it does not have a one-shot kill. I wanted to go with a blaster that had a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
And I tried, I experimented with it and stacked damage up on it. Mm-hmm. And you can get very close to a one-shot kill, but not quite. You can get to like 90, 98, 99 with one shot. But that doesn't do it if someone's at full health.
Listen, if you guys, after the show, if you guys get a random text message from me that says F you, that's because I went downstairs and I used it and I hate it. And I hate you guys. So,
I can't wait. I cannot wait. And with that, I guess let's wrap it up for the week.
But I'm going to use the actual word. I'm going to use other words, too.
I'm sure it'll be colorful, Bobby.
It's going to be very colorful.
So let's go. I can't wait to see Bobby try out this weapon. So let's wrap it up there. Let's go. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, and find us on Facebook in the Geek Guru group. We're all there. We all chat there. Let us know if you've been.
Let's give a shout out to Greg Caldwell and his group.
All right. Oh yes, the Splatoon, NPC. Yeah.
But it's not Splatoon NPC, is it? I don't think that's the actual.
Or no, the Splatoon Wii U. Sorry.
Yes. Greg Caldwell is I believe he owns it, doesn't he?
I think so.
And good guy, Greg.
Very. He's in a few different groups.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of groups with me and stuff. But he's a really good guy, and he's a big fan of Splatoon. He basically, when we started the podcast, he told us to share it in that group, which we appreciate wholeheartedly. That means the world to us. That he wasn't like, "Hey, don't bring that in here." And I know he listens. He was on Mark pretty hardcore to get on iTunes, and just yelling at Mark weekly. So I appreciate that, Greg, because we were trying to get him on iTunes, and he kept like, "Oh, we need to be high in the rankings and this and that and
we're on there."
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you, Greg. So we appreciate that. Thank you for everything, Greg. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate everyone that listens. So thank you for listening, and let us know. I mean, we're in that Splatoon group. We're in the Geek Guru group. You can find my page, the Warp Whistle, and you can find us all on Twitter as well. Bobby is at the Geek Gurus.
Yes.
Yes, I'm the _Warp Whistle or at Mark Carabin. And let us know what you think. Let us know if you're keeping track and if you're trying out the same weapons we are, or if you have a weapon challenge or something for us. And let me know if I'm going to be alone on Team Pokemon Blue.
You will be.
Or, if you guys are going with the other two and going with Pokemon Red. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time.
Stay fresh.
Damn it. All right, let's try that again. 2, 1. Stay
fresh.
All right.
That's much better.
That's good. Yep. All right.
I don't know about that.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you.